I'm Matt. Welcome to Action to Unstuck. The following video is all about me just recording, saying what I want to say, and just publishing. No edits, no cuts, nothing fancy. I want to get into the practice of just saying what I want to say to the camera, getting used to that, and putting it out. So I apologize if my brain seems scattered, if something doesn't seem like it makes sense. I'm doing my best. I just want to practice this rhythm of recording, publishing, and being done with it, so to speak. So if you like this video, give a like. If you subscribe to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. Let's get into this video. Okay, so what I want to talk about is going to be becoming a consistent person in the things that you do. My problem, and maybe yours too, is that I often will miss days on the things that I want to get done. I will freeze up and not do something. I also will often stop or get distracted by something new and shiny, or I want to learn something that I don't really need to learn because I've done enough learning and I just need to do the thing. And so what I've had to learn and become, and this idea of what it means to become consistent, I'm going to share with you in this video. So my process is I had to look at my problem and I looked at what I wanted to have as my outcome. And so what I want in my outcome is something to be consistent in. So whatever it is, lifting, waking up early, taking the dog for a walk, all those kinds of things. I want to be consistent in those things and not miss. And so I wanted to make a rule, and that's where I learned from this idea from, I think it was the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, where he talks about the 2-day rule, where if you miss something on one day, make sure that you hit it on the next day. And so that was something really, really valuable that I found, and I started implementing in the things I do. So if I didn't lift on Wednesday, then I had to make sure that I lifted on Thursday, if that makes sense. And this same idea of the 2-day rule, what I found is that it's also been popularized by Simon Sinek, another author, and that's his whole work in Values as Verbs. I would highly recommend checking those two things out. So the Atomic Habits book and the Value as Verbs. The value of verbs basically comes down to if you're wanting to be something, have integrity, be accountable, those things, you have to say what you're going to do to those things. And so the 2-day rule kind of fit that. If I want to be consistent, my rule was never miss more than 2 days. So shout out to James Clear. So there's that. If you want to, shift that, change that, or whatever, I mean, you can, like never miss 3 days, 4 days, whatever it might be. But making that rule for being consistent. So that was process step number 1. And process step number 2, I had to ask myself, am I on track? And that boiled down to what's the plan going forward? So if I'm off track without a plan, then I'm in trouble. And if I am on track with a plan, then I'm going to do that plan. And so just as an example, this past week, I twisted my ankle. I twisted my ankle like on a Tuesday. And so I knew that I was going to be lifting on Thursday. That was the next step for what I needed to do. And even when I twisted my ankle, my first thought was, oh man, I'm in trouble because I may not be able to lift. And so Thursday came around and I just gave a simple practice. I just went over to my squat rack and I did a squat just to see how my ankle felt for that Thursday. And it was still hurting a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try Friday. Hopefully Friday works. Now there are some things that will happen where, your rule can bend a little bit. Something like that I wasn't expecting, a twisting of an ankle, I'm allowing for myself. I don't want to be too hard on myself. But so Friday I tried again, it still didn't work. So Saturday, today, I went, I lifted, I was fine. I went through my motions and went through my process and found my results. So the main idea was that I made sure that I had a plan in place so that I could get back on track if I'm finding myself on track. So getting yourself on track, having that plan is going to be process step number 2. And then lastly, process step number 3, and this is not the fun one. Nobody ever wants to do this, but it's so, so important, is getting accountability and making sure that that accountability is going to cost you if you don't do what you said. So before I came down and hit record and turn on lights and wipe down my desk and all those things, I texted my 2 really good guy friends, Eric and Iva, and asked them and say, hey, if I don't text you back by 3:30 that the video is uploaded, published, all that, recorded and everything, I owe y'all Crumble. And they were like, bet, say less, like, let's do it. And I know that's going to cost me, because if I tell my wife that I owe 2 people Crumble cookies, she's probably not going to be happy with me. And so that accountability piece was really important when it comes to doing what you said you're going to do. So find that accountability, reach out to some friends and say, hey, I need a favor from you. Shoot me a text, send me a DM, call me, ask me if I did this thing that I said I was going to do. And if I don't, then, do find something that's going to cost you something, so that you actually go and do what you said you want to do. And that was going to be for me. And so what this promise does, this 3-step process of making the rule, having a plan, asking for accountability, what this does is that it gets through this idea of the valley of despair. Whenever you want to change things, you ever want to change a habit, begin a habit, starting something new, starting a new career, you're really excited for it at first. And so as you progress, you realize it becomes harder and harder. And what happens is that at that time, you hit this moment called this valley of despair. And getting through that valley of despair is just all about just showing up and doing what it is you need to do. It may not come out perfect. That's okay. It may not come out the way you want it to, and that's all right. What you're doing is you're practicing through this process. And so just by me coming down, turning on the camera, sitting down, and just saying what I need to say on camera, for this idea of becoming consistent, is me working through this valley of despair. It's working through. I'm not going to be able to hide behind the edits of things that I messed up or wanted to say. I'm not allowing myself to edit. I'm not giving myself fonts and colors and sound effects to trick your brain so that you'll watch this video longer. I had to sit and write out what I wanted to say. I had to get into my brain and just come down and do the thing. And that's where I am. So a question I want to leave you with is that when you're challenged by this thing, you think to yourself, you know what, it's not going to work out for me. I don't want to do this. If you quit now, if you give up, what problem are you recreating? That's when I was like thinking through, like that came to my mind. I was like, oh, okay. What do I miss out on because I'm not coming down to do the video? What are you missing out on because you're not doing what you said you wanted to do? So what problem are you recreating? So my suggestion to you, the action step that we're going to take away in this video, is to go create the plan. If you have a rule, great. If you don't, start with the rule and then make a plan. What are you going to have to do so that you can get yourself back on track and being consistent in all these things? So that's it. This is the video. If you found something valuable, if you could hit the like button for me, that'd be great. Boost my self-confidence. Or boost my confidence, not my self-confidence. But boost my confidence. And if you want to stick around for this journey and come along this year as we do things that we've always wanted to set out to do, then subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And then I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. All right, we're done.